Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Z2X. I'm joined again by.
The X mom. Gen X. I
Uh,
should just say Gen X, huh?
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's
I
even
was gonna, I
better.
was gonna say I don't think you're anyone's ex. Well, probably someone's
No.
ex, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm some people's X, but I'm Gen X. Down, down,
yeah, a
down.
pretty awkward way to find out I'm being put up for adoption. Yeah, I'm your your ex
You're too
mom.
old for that, Dallas. You're an adult now. Anyway, go on.
You still can do that.
Yeah, that's still, yeah, you could. It's true. It's
I've never
true.
seen
That
this
would
man.
be,
I've never seen this man in my life.
oh, shut up. I love you. There's no way. I
All
ain't
right.
giving you up.
Anywho, what are we gonna be speaking about here today?
Well, because you've been busy last week, I came up with the topic because it's been driving me crazy and it's kind of everywhere too.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about Elijah Schaefer yesterday. I figured
Yeah.
let's go down that rabbit hole and talk about Candace Owens,
Yes, Candace Owens.
the Grifter Owens. She's just, I don't even know. People call her Grifter. I mean, I think she's just kind of batshit crazy, but
Yeah, no,
I,
I think that
but
she's
maybe
more
she's crazy
insane.
like a fox because I have a theory now after I researched about this. Because I got intrigued. I was like, what is her husband up? Because remember I mentioned last time, like, where's her husband in all this? You know, he's a highly educated
Yeah.
man. He comes from a really good background, and his father is a hard worker. His father actually sits in the parliament in the UK in the for the group that's for the Christian and Jewish coalition.
Hmm.
He put out a letter saying that he's, basically saying I do not side with my daughter-in-law in no uncertain terms. Like he was saying that we do not have the same ideology about Jewish people.
Yeah, because
But
I was gonna say I'm like a little,
I'm
you
being a little
know,
vague.
no no
I
no 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 no
know.
no. I mean a little like I'm one side I'm for the Jews and the other side is like one of
Yeah,
probably the
she's
most
not.
anti-Semitic content
Yeah,
creators out there.
she really has turned that way, and and none of it's confounded. She makes up weird ass shit. So I'm going to start off with she's got this new quote unquote dossier documentary about the Bride of
Yeah, I was
Charlie
gonna say
because
the Bride of Charlie. Yeah,
she's on, she gets on these kicks. Like people who are, I think, who are bipolar do this too.
that is
She
true.
gets on this. I'm going like first it was Macron's wife. What's her name? I don't know.
Hold on. Let me look it up. Let me
Yeah.
Macron's wife.
And
Bridget.
yeah, Brigitte Macron. And she was saying like she's a man. And I was like, and then
I remember that.
I watched it, right? All this stuff, and none of it proved. It was just literally like, so apparently there's twins in that family, and she's trying to say that that Brigitte died and the man took over. It was just so stupid. So I mean, she literally jumped a bridge. There's no bridge. She's like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
connect the
yeah.
dots. But I'm like, honey, there was no dots connected. You freaking jumped the shark. It's an old saying. Anyway, she
People still
just
use jump to the shark. Back in
does
my
do they?
day, back in
Back
my
in
day, we
my
said
day.
that was a little bit of a hassle. I don't know if you kids know what that
Well, it
means.
was when Happy Days they had the Fonz jump a shark. He was in his leather jacket while he was water
I
skiing.
don't
It
think
was the
I
stupidest
don't
thing
think
ever.
most people know the context, but that it's still a very
No,
widely used
yeah.
saying.
Because that's the context. It was really stupid and bad. Everybody's like, "What did I just watch?" Anyway, so now she's got this The Bride of Charlie. And she's just going down this cray-cray rabbit hole with her. She called her a groomer because she was talking to one of her text messages with her and Erika. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk's wife with a younger man that's on their team. And she was just talking sweet to her, and she's like, she's a groomer. And then she also said that Erica is the one who basically got Charlie killed, and she's working for the Mossad.
Yes, I heard about that. Even outside of
And
looking at all that stuff,
yeah, and that the governor knew all this, or
the
the government
governor.
knows all this, and the
Holy,
FBI Cashel is part of this problem too.
huh?
This is Candace Owens. I
That's
mean,
weird as
it's just
hell. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like,
Okay.
hello, we have, you are, and the people who are like, she's just asking questions. She's just asking questions. I'm like, she's not asking any questions. She's accusing. She's just making up accusations. There's no questioning. She's just throwing shit out there and hoping something sticks and people keep watching her. And they do, which that's crazy. But anyway, like about, okay, let's just go back to the first thing that she started talking about with, um, what's her face, Erika, that the government was involved. I'm like, we have somebody, we have the video. There was people there. They have DNA from this guy that assassinated him. I mean, you're just making crap up, and these people who don't believe it, I don't understand where their brain is. I'm like, we have video evidence, we have DNA evidence that this man did it. He admitted it to
Also,
the
yeah, yeah.
police.
Also, the thing is, because the whole thing stems from Charlie being like, "Hey, I don't." That whole conspiracy is like Charlie and messages and on like some podcasts he went on like, "Hey, I don't like Israel as much. I think that they're like too like these people basically being like, I hate working with these specific Jewish people because of like XYZ reasons."
Wow.
But I'm saying because of the messages that were shown from like the killer, it would literally
Yeah.
have to be like retroactively like
Yeah, he had planned it out, and people, yeah, the killer did it. Anyway, so that was one that, and again, she's accusing the FBI of being in on that too, which is
this.
crazy because the FBI is they were all very big Charlie Kirk fans, right? Cashel, I don't know what is Pastel, Paddle, Cashel, whatever. And then she's claiming that,
Kashal
um,
Patel or whatever have you.
yeah. And then she's claiming that Erika took all of Charlie Kirk's content down, which it's not. There's nothing down. There's no proof
Yeah.
about it. There's nothing. And then she's saying, the grooming thing. And then she's let's see. I'm going back. I wrote it all, have it down here. Growing backlash. So she's got a lot of backlash going on because now that she's done this, she's also accused her of that she's not a grieving widow and that she's just playing it. And I think that people misinterpret because Erika was a beauty queen and I have a sister who was a beauty queen. And they are raised to have this like they have to have this perfect smile and that would be hard to unlearn, right? And Erika also has those really intense like crazy blue eyes that can come across on some people kind of I don't know the
It's
word
the
I'm
Aryan stare.
it's kind of it's disarming. It's disarming. It's just kind of it makes people kind of go, "Ooh, that's weird." Right? And I know people who
Yeah.
have really light eyes that sometimes it's like weird because they're like even if they're smiling it almost looks like psycho because it's just so light. It's weird. And I think that she's just anyway, she's just making up shit. But and then and like I said, everybody's like, "Oh, she's just
Yeah.
asking questions. She's just asking questions," but she's not. Then in this new Bride of Charlie, she goes into like I said that grooming stuff, and then she was talking about that Erika Kirk is gay, if you can believe it.
That is no, that's wild. Also, I just sent you those. That
I just saw
whatever
that, and it's true.
whenever I think of people
Yeah,
with blue eyes, that's kind of what
yeah.
I'm imagining.
Disarming for some people and they might just think like it's not right, it's just because their eyes are so blue and she's got that I call it the beauty queen smile, and it is trained in them. My sister still does it, and I know when she's sincere, and but she still almost looks like she's borderline crying. And then who told somebody that this is how you're supposed to grieve for your husband? Look at Jackie O. Jacqueline, she when her husband died, she was in front and center. She was in front of everybody crying,
I
and
have no
nobody
clue. I
criticized
have no
her.
clue who that is actually.
That's Kennedy's wife when he was
Oh
assassinated.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I
So you see what I'm saying? It's like it's just because they don't like what she did. It's like, well, is there a document that tells you how you're supposed to grieve in front of the public? And her husband wanted her to be a CEO of the company that is growing big now. I mean, come on. Well, I'm going back to that one in just a second. That let's just put a pin in that the company thing. So now she's saying that Erika is gay or bisexual, and that's going to go against the Christian or conservative groups that Erika is, they kind of, are catering to, right? The Turning Point USA stuff. Well, And then she's like, so she's talking into that. Of course, there's nothing, no evidence. Erika was, so is she grooming a young boy, or is she a lesbian? So she was married to a man and had 2 kids, or was she a lesbian? I mean, it's just so stupid. Again, these are my bridges I'm building to show you these facts, and there's zero facts.
That's just really funny to me. Average lesbian. Yes, so I'm married to a man.
I know. What the heck is, I mean, it's just like, oh my God. And people, again, can I go back to the crazies? She's just asking questions. Again, people, there's zero questions being asked. She's accusing, 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 and there's no questions. She's not bringing up, this is possibility. She's just throwing crap out there. So I am going to say what I think happened. I got looking into her husband because I was like, I saw something that her husband was being funded by Qatar in one of his companies. I didn't see any of that. And that, that could be because there's umbrella companies that Qatar has, a hold of, because Qatar is a big kind of the holder of a bunch of
They,
umbrellas. Let's just
well,
say
yeah,
that.
they got their hands in a lot of pots, you could say.
Well, and remember when I said that, what the heck is going on with her husband? Why isn't he reining her in a little bit? I mean, I know she's her own person, but come on. You think that he would say, honey, you need to take a step back, right?
Take a chill
And
pill, bro.
I know. And his name is George Farmer, and his dad was actually like
Hmm.
he owned a metal company, and he came from a really abused family. His father, and an alcoholism. His so I guess Candace Owens' husband's grandma was even institutionalized because of alcoholism and was abusive, horribly abusive to the
Horrible
kids.
mental health
So
issues.
yeah, and so Candace Owens, her husband is her husband's father is very with domestic abuse. He works with human rights things, like if you're going to do anything, how is this affecting the poor people and the children in Parliament, because he was given a lordship too. And again, like I said, he sits on the board of the Coalition for Christians and Jewish people. So when I was looking up him, I just realized that her husband is the chairman of the Turning Point UK, and still is,
Wow.
since she quit working for the Turning Point USA in 2019, because she used to work for them and do their Brexit
Brexit.
and Brexit, yeah. And so her husband apparently took up that after she left for the UK. But he doesn't live in the UK. They all live in Tennessee. So
Also, it's Brexit, like Brex.
Brexit, yeah.
Brexit is
No,
a.
no, 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 no. It's not Brexit, because I'm talking about, she used to work for Brexit, which is black people leaving
Oh,
the Democratic Party. It's a totally
okay.
different thing than, and it did a play on it, and I think her husband probably had a little bit to say about that, how that worked, because he too was a sponsor of Brexit from England. But no, it's Brexit, like black people leaving the Democratic Party.
Okay,
So she had,
that's very confusing, especially when you're
I
already
know.
dealing in the UK.
I know, right, right, right. Anyway, so that was what she did here in the United States. And there was a bunch of people that it was a part of Turning Point USA that Charlie Kirk did, and she was one of the spokespeople, and that's one of the things that she did. And mind you, there's people out there, if you look it up, that used to work for her with Blexit, and they said that she charged over $800,000 a year for her role as a spokesperson. And mind you, she hardly ever showed up. They said she would say that she was doing things and she didn't, and hired a private plane that the Turning Point USA had to pay for. Candace Owens did this. And the
Oh
woman
wow.
who was like working for them, she's like, she never even showed up. Half the time when we asked her if she could come do this, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a previous engagement. So they're like, whatever. She worked with the Blexit for like 3 years, this one chick, and she was their accountant. And she was like, that woman, she constantly was wanting more money and praise and doing all these things. It was like a star. She's like, Charlie Kirk never did that. Ever, how she
Yeah.
was talking about what she wanted to pay. Anyway, so my thing is, I think a bunch of the if we're going to go conspiratorial, because Candace Owens is the conspiratorial queen right now, I think that she was pissed that her husband didn't become the CEO of Turning Point USA. I don't think
Hmm.
she wanted it. I don't think she was in love with Charlie, like some people are saying. I think she's trying to bury Turning Point USA so that her husband can take over. That's my theory.
That's your theory? Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening. I think she's literally trying to bury them to the ground where they don't trust Erika anymore, and that her husband moves in and becomes the CEO of Turning Point USA. He's already the chairman in the UK Turning Point.
Yeah, I mean
So,
it's so hard to tell stuff like that though because
but I mean, no, if you think about it, why would he even still be the chairman if his wife is going off on all this stuff in the Turning Point UK? He's not stepping down. He hasn't stepped down. I haven't seen it. I looked it up. I did a deep search on it, and he's
true,
still.
to be fair, the what I think is that a lot of people don't even know probably 99% of people don't really know who he is or his connections to her.
I know. I
So
know.
it's like, why would you give up your position because your wife doesn't like this or whatever, but you're still very influential and still going at it? A part of me thinks
No,
that,
I think Candace Owens is mad because he didn't get it. And I think she's trying to bury Erica until he does get put in that place. And it's going to be called like a merger where they become friends again type thing. I think that she's doing this because Erica didn't give it to her husband. I
I
really do.
like it's so hard to tell stuff like that because the thing is she could be like doing something because that's the thing with I think bipolarism is that she could be doing some like she's like angry and spiteful and like kind of thoughtful in the way of like this bitch tried doing all this. I'm gonna make sure she's gone because I mean she did have a good friendship with Charlie Kirk. I mean like like some of their messages or whatever were leaked and they were pretty friendly.
Well,
It
Charlie
is
Kirk is friendly to
yeah,
everybody.
it's super funny though seeing the messages because I mean Charlie like he's a theater kid and like someone that's clearly just like tries to get along with people
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like the way that he would almost like mimic the speech mannerisms or whatever of like
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like was
And
really
that's
funny.
and so is Erica,
Yeah,
his wife. She's the same exact way, and that's why I think they got along so well. But my point is, I think that her George Farman, her husband, I think that she expected that he was going to, and that her and him
yeah.
were going to be the new Charlie Kirk slash Candace Owens shit, and she could just travel the world and be that. Because think of how huge a Turning Point USA is as a company, especially after Charlie was killed. And so I think that because it wasn't offered to them, I think she went batshit crazy. I'm just saying it. And I mean, come on. She went, I think she went crazy with Macron's wife too, because you can say that the French president's wife was a groomer. You can say that, man, because she had been his teacher when he was 12 years old and she was married and had her own kids.
Yeah,
That's grooming. There's a lot of things you could call that woman, a lot of dossiers that you could do, but being a man was not one of them. It
very.
was weird.
You're hitting the one point that's not valid.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I think she's just crazy. Well, now that she put out that new trailer for The Bride of Charlie, she has gotten a lot of backlash because of this. And I think that she just thinks that she's just going to keep grifting and get the money because, hello, she is getting a lot of money. Think about all of these people that are watching it, and we don't get monetized, we're not monetized,
Yeah.
but she totally is. And she's on X, and she's on Rumble, and she's having people doing a paywall for a lot of this stuff. I mean, that woman is raking it in. And her husband, like they said, his net worth is like 40 million to 180 million, somewhere in
Sheesh.
between, because he's an investment, he runs the hedge fund which his dad started, and he's also he owns the Parlor, which is also a social media thing that Candace Owens does a lot of her stuff on. There's a lot of things that he's got his freaking hands into. And again, why I wanted to talk about, I think she wanted him to be it, and her and him to be running the Turning Point
The
USA.
show.
And Um, I just that's what I think. But she's getting a lot of pushback because of this. And you and I have talked about her many times as a grifter. I think she's a grifter, and I've heard other stories. So there's a group that I've followed before. It's called the Walkaway group, and there's Brandon Straka. And he had said before that when he was doing the Walkaway group, he and she started doing her little videos like when you come out conservative to liberal parents, they're like, why can't you just be gay instead of coming out as conservative, coming out as gay? It was funny, funny skit. And he was like, so he kind of hit her up saying, hey, you want to join our movement and talk with us? And she's like, no, I've got my own stuff. And she's the one who started that Blexit, basically using Brandon Straka's walk away thing with the black side, and went to Turning Point USA and with Charlie Kirk on it. And Brandon Straka said she was so rude. She was like, I would rather work with somebody who's better, because she had started to be doing with PragerU, which is another Jewish person's. Like, she's worked for all these Jewish people, and she just really, really, and everybody said that they never had a problem with her. She was always nice and great, and they don't know where this is coming from. I think she's, like you said, bipolar.
Yeah.
Another thing too.
Also, to be fair, to be fair, there, it's kind of hard not to work with Jewish people.
In the industry, yes, and I mean, come on, the Jewish people, you act like their Jewish people are like as many as the Christians. Jewish religion is only 2% of the populations of religions. But you need to be specific. It's just in the certain realm that she's
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Well,
And I'm just saying that you act like they're like all over the place, but they're not.
no, well. I never say it like that. I basically mean, like, whenever someone refers to something like that, it always means like the higher up. Funny enough, Seth MacFarlane has this really funny bit with it was for some award show or something. Which, I mean, that Seth MacFarlane is one of the most Jewish people alive.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up. Let me see if I can find this.
But while you're looking for that, I was gonna say, so yeah, so she was calling her a lesbian pedophile grooming a 15-year-old that was from the high school Turning Point USA.
Yeah,
just because
that's
she
ridiculous.
was being nice to them. Yeah, she's disgusting. I don't know. Mark Wahlberg and Ted hit the Oscar stage in 2003. It was
it was it's a video. It's just something that I find funny.
Yeah.
But like him, because he does all the TED stuff.
Yeah, and he's funny. I don't always like his stuff, but he's actually funny.
Well,
though.
I think that I think that he's pretty funny. It's just that he lends his voice to a lot of unfunny things. That's the issue.
That's true, exactly.
But yeah,
Anyway.
like, here's the thing too that we've talked about before, is that I also think that she has postpartum psychosis.
I think she does, yeah.
Because postpartum psychosis is especially like it is a super prevalent issue that I don't think a lot of people talk about, where you
No, and it's really, really high in the Black community for women.
African American women
really is.
have a higher rate, or a
Uh-huh.
higher intensity is more so the word to use.
Yeah, I was gonna say more of an intensity where it comes out. I think so too. And you know what I was watching, and I had to like watch her stuff, and I was just like, oh my God. You know what I noticed, because I watched her a long time ago. Um, I don't always agree with stuff, and she's very in your face person, which I'm not very comfortable with that kind of talking and argument. I'm more of like, if you were going to say like a Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, of course, is one of my all-time favorites. More relaxed people who talk quieter. They don't raise their voices, even though it's funny because I raise my voice. But I prefer to watch people like that if they're talking politically.
Speaking of raising voices, I hope that the beginning of the pod isn't too loud, because I think my audio is messed up a little bit.
Well, if when the editing, we'll see.
Yeah, it's only the first 5 minutes, but
okay,
that should be.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I was going to say that now you made me lose my train of thought, Dallin. About her postpartum aspects of her mental health problems. I What was I just saying before
Oh my
that? Because you
god.
just made me.
Sorry. That just popped into my head too. With her husband, I think you were mentioning.
No, I was not. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. So I was watching her stuff, like
Yes.
this new stuff that's come out, and I haven't watched her for a long time. I stopped watching her probably when she went to the Daily Wire. Not that it was bad or anything, but it just I don't,
It just fell
maybe
out of favor. Yeah.
yeah, I just it's like something that whatever. But anyway, and I noticed a huge difference between her earlier YouTube videos and even when she was at the Daily Wire, because I looked back at some of them, and she was so much happier and nicer and smiling. And now her smile is like an angry, like, look at
Scowl.
me. It's yes, it's a very forced, like I'm a aggressive smile. You know when someone's like a predatorial
Yeah, like
smile.
ah ha ha.
Bitch, that's what, like she's got that behind her teeth as she's smiling. She looks so angry and so hate and so much full of hate and not having fun at all. Like she is not enjoying her life right now. And I think it comes out in what that's why she's doing all this stuff. Like something's not right there. She is just like turned into this horrible, wretched, angry person. People are calling her evil. I mean, I don't believe that, but I think that something's wrong. Like something is she's not happy. And I mean somebody needs to send help and
Well,
put her away for a little bit.
oftentimes people that are like very mentally ill and hateful are end up being very unhappy.
Yeah, she just seems really hateful. And it's not just what she's saying, but her stuff that she is saying is hateful. Like, I don't think she says anything nice about anybody anymore. Like, she has just turned into this podcast of she doesn't laugh, she doesn't have fun, she's not joking, like that's how she kind of was. But then we'll talk to like the grifter part of her. So when she was younger, she was going to school in Houston and she was a very, very big Democrat. And then she also turned in people for being racially against her or something. Like she sued the school
Yeah, I remember that.
against
That
her.
was old. That's an old
Yeah.
story.
And so she was really, really very, very on the liberal side. I think she might be one of those people that jumps whatever bandwagon
Like
she
Hunter
can be the
Avalon. I don't know if you remember that guy, but
yeah, yeah, where they can be the queen in that arena. They're being edgy, but really she's not being edgy. She's jumped the shark, She jumped the
they're
shark.
biding their
I
time until they can find the next thing to latch themselves onto.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to a lot of mental health problems that people like that are. I mean, I don't think grifters are I think they don't you don't become a grifter. I think you're born a grifter in a lot of ways. Does that make sense? Like you have something not quite there in your head that
It's
you
the
can be
rat
such a
personality type. Is that
so
that's what I
you
think.
can lie. You can lie, you can manipulate things, and maybe she's lying so much that she believes it herself, but I think in their brain they just don't their brain doesn't work like a normal person's brain. And I think with her, I think that after all these kids, like you said, I think it's messed with her hormones and messed with her brain. And I think she's just now, she's just batshit crazy at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
I even your dad is like, I used to like her, some of the stuff that she said, but he's like, she has like gone off the freaking rocker. I'm like, she has left the building.
The stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just can't believe the Bride of Charlie and the crap that she has on there is disparaging, and it's disgusting that she's acting like this to somebody that she called her friend.
I think most people would agree that I mean they seem pretty they seem like thick as thieves also. I think at the end of the day it's just that's just mental illness for you, really.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that they hadn't been friends for a long time. They had like she'd message or they had done like March message stuff, but they hadn't really spoken. But and some people were like I said were saying that she's jealous because Charlie Kirk married Erika, but I don't believe that in at all. I don't think Charlie Kirk was her kind type at all. I think her and her husband are
I
literally in on it.
I still see memes of of what's it called, like even on like a lot of the far right or whatever, where it's like she's
Uh-huh.
actually like like making fun of her, you know, they like she actually is in love with Charlie Kirk or what's his face, Nick Fuentes, or one of these other dudes, and
Oh my
it's pretty
gosh.
funny because I mean it's like isn't this you're also the same group that you're associating with that are
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lol Lamau, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's how bad it is. I think that's how much she's getting so much backlash about all this. And I think that with she was trying to like put down the Daily Wire, although she had to sign an NDR where they couldn't say anything about when they she left and the reasons behind it. But even Jeremy Boring was like, she is wickedly good in front of people. Like that is her niche. She's a good actress, but she's also a she can bring down a city. And I
She's
think
a
she's trying
formidable
to bring
foe.
yeah, I think she's trying to bring down Turning Point USA, and I think she wants her husband to take over it. I really do. I feel it because I think after researching him, and he's in all the conservative social media stuff, and he's with all the conservative stuff that he owns all of these little pieces and parts in that, minus the hedge funds that he has.
Yeah.
I think that she was going to have him claim it. I think and again, he was the spokesperson, or he's the head of it in the UK department. Why wouldn't he just take over the USA? He doesn't even live in the UK anymore. He lives in Tennessee.
Pretty far away.
What Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's my take. I mean, I just figured like you were busy, so you can come up with other topics with your stuff. And this week I decided I'm gonna go down the crazy rabbit hole of grifters and
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists and just downright crazy. Like I tell you, all these unsubstantiated claims that she's making, um it's I don't understand people listening to her. I just don't. And they're like, she's asking questions. Fuck off. I'm sorry. Fuck off. She's not asking any questions. She's accusing, 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 and making crap up. Making crap up. We know who shot Charlie. They have him on video. They have his DNA. They have it on video with him jumping
It
off the
happened
building.
in 4K, legitimately.
Like literally, they know what happened. Now, was other people behind him? Was he funded or a part of another group? That I actually believe in. I totally believe there might be other things on that side. But is it with the Jewish people and the Mossad? God, no. No, 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 no. This kid was a furry and his girlfriend was a trans. You know, he was as far on the left as you could freaking go. And he wasn't no psyop for the FBI trying to take it. Like it's just crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Crazy thoughts. Anyway, that was it. I'm done.
It seemed
I'm
pretty
going.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think? You don't think it was her? You just think she's crazy,
Yeah.
got
Well,
psychosis going on.
I'm gonna try and keep a look on it, but like no, to me, I just feel like that she's gone absolutely insane. Because here's the
But
thing.
usually, when people go insane like that and they have bipolar issues, it's usually they have this cause that drives them, and I think that's her cause is her husband. That's what I think.
To me, that I feel like her cause that she feels like she's some sort of hold up. She's some
Bless
sort of
you.
like amazing, thank you, amazing like truth seer because or like and almost like she's the one exposing the government. That's she's got delusions of grandeur is what I think,
Oh yeah. You know
and
what?
that
That is also
because
too.
everything
Yeah.
that there's this sincerity to her with everything that she says, no matter how crazy it is, that I'm like I don't
But
feel
again,
like
she was an actress. She too was a theater kid. She too was a theater
what I
kid.
mean is that there's this sincerity that's like it's different from a lot of these other like big actor people that I've seen like on news media because all of these other news media guys are like actors and shit too.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
someone lying that doesn't know they're lying like
Because she's so bipolar
because she a
crazy.
100% I think she 100% believes what she says.
I don't know how she could. And literally, again, I don't know how her husband can be around her.
Yeah.
And then, and I like, what's that one girl, Brett Cooper, and
Mhm.
Brett Cooper's like, "Oh, Candace Owens is like my sister." I'm like, "Brett, how could you even be in the same room with someone like that who talks like that?" Like she's like spitting this ugly, like everything that comes out of her mouth is just ugly conspiratorial crap.
Yeah,
It's
true.
speculative. It's unverified. It's conspiratorial. I mean, the list goes on. There is zero evidence for anything that she says. She can pull up all these texts, but it's all out of context. You know, they're text messages. You don't know what was going on, and before you just took that little freaking chunk out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you took my message and your messages and took something out, it'd be weird. Like, think of the memes that you send or something like that, out of context. They don't know what's going on. I mean, whatever.
You know
It
what
to
they
me,
say, when you assume, you make an asset of you and me.
exactly, and that is the true story there. And that she is an ass right now. But she's
Yeah.
not making me look like one, because I just think she's crazy. But that's my personal opinion on it.
Yep,
And
agreed.
yeah,
I,
anyway,
yeah,
that's
we
it.
will see
That's
you
what we're
guys
going to do.
later.
Bye.
Bye.